Welcome to the stream, Magic Monsters. You're welcome for that, by the way. You're more than welcome for that. Suno, by the way, that's the AI used. All right. Hello, Game Maker at 1K. How are you today? You got 2K yet? Soon? 4K? 8K? All right. So I took the day off work. I had to take a day off work because vacation days cap out, which is kind of annoying. So if I didn't use it, I'd lose it. And I didn't want to lose it, so I'm using it. And Magic Arsenal is the latest integration I'm working. I was doing this last night. The goal today is really just to keep working on this. For those of you who aren't aware, Projectile Factory is coming very soon. I want to get it released this week. And so I'm just doing finishing touches. I want to get Magic Arsenal integrated. There's a lot of content here, though. There's this Arcanor VFX does some great work. And I think last night, right before I went to bed, I had built a tool to rename things, but then I think somehow things disappeared, which is kind of annoying. Or no, that maybe they're here. Pillar blast. Yeah, so there are some pillar blasts. So I don't know. Some of these had their names changed, others didn't. Shadow pillar. Maybe there's duplicates. Oh, that's why there's duplicates. Are these the same thing? This and they are. Okay. So yeah, so I made a tool. Delete those. That renames things and does things I want to do. Let's see. They're like these, for example. These, I can select these. Unless, oh. So these are already, okay, we'll delete those, I guess. All right, so one of the things the tool does is add spaces. So I can just go here, Magic Big Games. Interesting. It doesn't take scriptable objects. Well, that's annoying. I want to fix that. All right, we're going to use the AI for this. Let's handle scriptable objects too. I think scriptable objects are maybe renamed slightly differently. Yep. Are you guys excited today? Summertime's coming for the northern hemisphere. Sucks for the southern hemisphere. Game objects are handled differently than scriptable objects, which is why we need to change things for scriptable objects. All right, we'll just move the whole thing over then, I guess. Reformat the... Hey, why are you all the way over here? All right. Adjust names. All right, so we want to just add spaces. That's all in the camel case. Oh, interesting. It didn't seem to work for the... Or it only worked for one. Let's see. Let's make sure that it's doing it for all. I think it must have forgotten that part. Because it was handling multiple. We also had a progress bar. What the heck? Now we need to add the progress bar back in. I think I just copy and paste that. Okay, we're going to go back to where we had the progress bar. Okay, never mind. All right, let's add the progress bar. The progress bar. Progress bar is helpful because I noticed when you're changing a lot of file names at once, it can take a little bit of time, and it seems like the editor has frozen. So adding a progress bar is very helpful. Let's clean this code up just a little bit. Okay. There we go. Much better. See? Progress bar. Boom. Done. Should we handle numbers too? I don't know. All right. Those are good. Those are good. So we have collision behaviors for all these. Impacts for all these. Feel like there's more impacts than we have collision behaviors. Is that true? No. Now I'm looking at the bar here. Oh, yeah, we have a little bit more. Let's run this again. See, it didn't change this one. This is the problem with AI. Sometimes it doesn't do things right. Unless this already has a name. That's the Arcane Pillar Blast. Yeah, that's the issue. I see. There's a whole bunch of these. And that's where I thought things got deleted. But they hadn't got deleted. They just got the prefix. Basically, if I were to release this name change thing as a asset on the asset store, I would add a lot more to make sure that things like this were handled. But I'm not going to. Not for this. All right, so we've got those. Next, we need to do... Oh, and we have projectiles. So we have a whole bunch of projectiles. This package, Magic Arsenal by Arcanor VFX, has a lot of content in it. So we're setting these up en masse, basically. They're all going to have the same behaviors at the start and whatnot. And then muzzles. That's what we need to do, I think. I should have finished this last night when I was tired, so I didn't. Hi again. Are you the only person here? Is there anybody else here? All right. Muzzles. So we're bringing these in. We'll do our name change. See, this is why this comes in handy here. Magic Arsenal. And yes, change those. And it didn't work. Um, See, the AI removed this stuff, I think. This also needs to work for in-scene objects. I'm not sure. Did it? Maybe I should have started. I think I did start a new conversation with it, but it just changed stuff. Can't trust the AI all the time. You know that, right? Let's see. What do we add now? If it's seen. No. We do need to adjust the name. It basically said if it's a scene object. Wait. All right, let's do some manual work here. Okay, now let's do a new chat. Please build the logic to handle in-scene game objects. Thank you. Sometimes with the AI, it's 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. Sometimes it's the opposite. Sometimes it's all forward. Sometimes it's all back. All right. Magic Arsenal. And yes, do that. There we go. All right, that's better. So now these are all muzzle flashes. We do need to add the the Projectile Factory destroy or pool object script to these. And then we will make these particles. We'll make them original prefabs. Then, because these are all going to be spawn behavior modifications, we'll go to our shortcuts and choose the, you can't see it from your view because it's cut off, but the create object.spawn position, spawn behavior modification. Should add a progress bar for this too, but it adds those. Then we can bring those over here, and now we have all these spawn behavior modifications. And we can delete this one. There was one other that I think we could delete, but I forget which. Maybe it's one. Is there one that has a missing thing, or was it just the one? All right, it was just the one. So these are all set up for that now. So that's wonderful news. Delete all that. So let's look at these real quick. We're going to bring in, or actually with our projectiles, yeah. With our projectiles, what are we going to do? We have a few things going on here. Arcane Beam is the first of the beams. We need to set up that, the other beams later. The rest are all projectiles. So they all need a collision behavior and a spawn behavior. So let's add the spawn behaviors first. I think there's going to be more uniformity with the with this. So spawn, these are all the muzzles. So I'm going to do a test first. First we're going to do on the charge, not the beam. All right, so arcane charge. Let's make sure it looks good. Go to our actor, bring our projectile in, press play. So that's the big one. It's interesting that these so I slowed it down a lot. Let me bring the game down here. There's the one that I just okay, so this one, it's there, it's just not visible yet. I think we need to pre-warm these. Or at least one. Let's pre-warm that. All right. Maybe we'll pre-warm everything. There we go. Now we can see something more right away. Because before it wasn't, by the time it collided, it didn't, you can see something. Also, well, we have no collision behavior. That's why there's no force. Okay, and that's why there's no visuals of like actual collision. It just disappears. All right, so that's the big muzzle. Let's look at the small muzzle. We can change it very easily. Going to our projectile and changing it with our, or rather adding the normal and then removing that. And testing it out. Okay, I think the normal is going to be better for this purpose, so we're going to go with normal. All right. All right, so all the arcanes are going to get the same thing. So we're going to copy this, paste component values. So they currently all have the same value on the speeds and all that. Yeah. So Dazzle, I believe, gets generic. Muzzle normal. Earth. Should figure out how to make multiple work. Earth, muzzle normal. Add that. Copy component. Paste component values. Fire charge. All right, fire and muzzle normal. I do appreciate the way Arcanor VFX has set up their package. It's fairly, of all the projectile fat packages I've seen, it's the easiest to work with. Hello, Bravo. Hello, the Bull. How are you, the Bull? I really enjoy saying the Bull on the streams. Have you noticed that? Yes, probably muzzle generic. Frost versus Nixon. Paste. Hey, I need all of these selected. Paste component values. Ghost. All of these are going to be generic. In fact, not life. Light, lightning, Mesmerize. It's these ones that don't have many. That are all get the generic. Whoa. Paste component values. There we go. And life charge. What's the deal with AI music, huh? Are people afraid? I don't think AI music's going to change the value of real singers and musicians. It's going to change something, though. That's for sure. It would be naive for anyone, I think, to think that AI is not going to change their world. It is. And if you think it is and you're wrong, that doesn't generally cause harm. But if you don't think it is and you're wrong, it might cause harm. You know what I mean? Like, it's the whole, I don't know, you've probably heard at some point someone say something about evolution. We're much more quick to listen to things like lion and run, because those who didn't run got eaten when someone yells lion. We need more coffee soon, everybody. It's a public service announcement. Followed me home the other day. Do you know that song? Public service announcement followed me home the other day. I hate it, never mind. Go away, something like that. It's from REM. They were always my favorite band. And you know, I met Michael Stipe once. I talked to him for a few minutes, like a regular person, because it was at a movie premiere, and he was just there as a producer of the movie, and he was very nice and talked to me. And it was just a random thing. I was on the street with some girl, and they said, "Do you want to see a movie?" And I said, "Yes, I'll see a free movie with free popcorn and free drinks, duh." And then it was Michael Stipe producing it. It was called Saved, and it was a very good movie. Whoops. What did I just do? I shouldn't be talking while I do this stuff, because whatever I just did, I don't even know what button I pressed. I did something. Basic component values. All right. All right, so we should be all good with the spawn behavior modifications. Now we need to add the actual explosions. Yeah, he was interesting. He was shorter than me. He had very bright blue eyes. He was very kind. This was probably 2004, so it's been 20 years. He made a comment about Velvet. Is it Velvet Goldmine or something like that? I had never seen it, and I was just a young kid, right? Young kid. I was in my 20s, early 20s, but I pretended like I knew it, even though I hadn't. He probably saw through that, but it was still nice of him to talk. All the famous people were walking around. This girl I was with, she was getting very starstruck. Because it was shortly after Almost Famous had been big, and the guy from Almost Famous was there because he was in the movie. Mandy Moore, the Culkin kid, not the Macaulay, the other one. All these famous people were there, like regular people. And I'm like, dude, calm down. Look at them. They're all just talking. They don't know who you are. You could be the director's daughter or something. I don't know. You could be anyone. So if you just calm down, go talk to them. Go say hi. Maybe they'll invite you to a party. And I hung around, waited for Michael Stipe to walk out. And then sure enough, I saw him. I said, "Hey, Michael." And then we talked. Just for a moment. It was nice. Okay, coffee, then we'll add these. Be right back. back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. Calm down, everybody. Jesus. I leave for 1 minute and you all get mad. Just kidding. You didn't get mad. Maybe you did. I don't know you. I don't know you at all. Magic Arsenal. All right. That's why I name these like this, so it's easier to find them in the list. Because otherwise, you have to find them and drag them, and you risk clicking around, and it's such a pain. All right, so we need to. There are a lot of collisions here. I actually need to figure out. A lot of them aren't really collisions, if in reality, like these dome ones. These dome ones are not collisions. Ha 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 ha. No, I saw that movie. What was that kid's movie about the bull? And there was the one who didn't want to go bullfighting. Not all bulls are mean. But I made them a thing because they could be used for that. But I'm going to quickly look and see what their intent was with the demo particles. So they were Arcane Explosion, Missile, and Muzzle. So Explosion, I renamed. Well, I didn't rename those, I don't think. So Explosion for each of these. And they just did the normal ones. Well, actually, I guess they set up all of them. So we'll be setting up all of them too. And then the generics are just the similar Explosion, but generic Muzzle. All right. With that in mind, we can go back to our projectiles and figure out what each one of these is. So I'm going to say Arsenal Arcane. And we're just going to copy that for now. And then because even charge was not one of their missiles. I see. That's why I'm confused here. Because I added things that weren't their missiles. The charge was not missile. That's why it also wasn't pre-warmed, because it was not a missile. It was meant to be like a buff or something. But I thought it looked like a cool missile, so I made it a missile. So for this, I don't know which one. I guess we'll do, for the charges, we'll do the shield. And let's see what that looks like. So we added it. Now we just have to press play. We already have this as our thing. So there you go. So the shield. We might need some more logic for that to make it fade out, though. But this is the type of thing that we say, okay, now we can add some negative force to make it cool. So when we go to our arcane shield here, and then we find our actual object that we're spawning in, project force, we instead of impulse, we do force, and we add a negative 25 to it. Press play, and then let's see, is it gonna work? Right now it's not, well, the things aren't collided. We need another thing to smash them all up, I guess, to see if that works. And we should not apply in direction. Maybe that'll change something. Yeah, we need to smash these things around first to make sure it's actually working. Oh, there, that one did. Okay, so maybe, whoops. Yeah, so there is some activity going on, but let's smash things first. For all these, let's do the same for all these while we're thinking about it. So all the shield ones. Shield, shield. Shield, shield. Shield, shield. Shield, shield. Paste component values. There we go. So we'll do the same for all of those. All right. So arcane charge gets arcane dome. Mesh glow gets explosion, right? Mega normal small. I haven't found an easy way to automate this addition. But that's okay. All right, let's just quickly check these out, make sure they're good before we move on and do the same to everything. So we got our actor, go to our projectiles, add in all these other ones. That way we can see them all. I think in the demo scene, I'll only bring in the normal ones because it will be redundant to show the different sizes of every one in the demo scene. But we can confirm that here. All right, so this is the new one. There's a particle system error there. And this doesn't seem to be exploding, so maybe that's the particle system error. There we go. That's some explosions. This is the normal. This is the small. This is the tiny. Oh. I think that muzzle needs to be in world space. No sound for this one, huh? It's because this is not an official one. Now we can see, does this work? Doesn't seem to be doing much of the impacts. Arcane dome. Arcane shield. Did I do arcane dome or arcane shield? Oh. Oh. I did it on the domes. Let's test this. Okay. Doesn't seem to have a huge effect. I can't remember what the values were for the other one that I did. But it's supposed to be sucking things in. It doesn't. That's sucking that one in. See? So there is having some impact, but these blocks, it's hard to see. Well, Losing My Religion is a good song. Classic song. Just going to go crazy. Do -50. Hulk smash. No, this is shield. I thought I'm confused now. Which one did I add? I added arcane charge as the projectile. Arcane charge has the arcane shield. That's what I thought. Why did I think it was dome? Interesting. Well, either way, we're going to do the same to the dome, but let's do the shield. I just want to confirm that this is doing, the settings are right, because this effect is really cool when it works, when the settings are right. crazy. There we go. Now there's an effect. Look at that effect. Okay, so clearly there is an effect happening, in case anyone was wondering. 500's too high. Let's do negative 100, see what that does. All right, we smashed things. Smash things a little bit more. All right, so this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to try negative 180. We're going to do a smaller radius of 4. It's taking too long. What's this? Is some weird light streak thing going on there? It's with the mega one. All right, negative 250. That's what I want to see. Something not quite that bold, but let's see. All right. We'll go with that. I'm going to copy this to all the domes and shields then, because they have a very similar look. All right. Paste component values. All right. Moving on. Oh yes, the muzzles. I did kind of think all of these need to be updated to have their projectile be in world space. Now these are not changing the settings of the original. So the integration particles, any customization I add will be separate. You still need, of course, the original, because all the actual content is in the original package, so you can't just get the integration and move on with your life. It won't work. But these modifications that I think the muzzle just seemed weird being attached and not in world space as I was moving the turret around. It didn't make sense. So that's why I'm just setting these to be world space in their simulation space. All right, projectiles. So these now have arcane shield for the charge. Explosion. Orbit shield is just explosion, but this is the one that was causing an issue, I think. Oops. We need the actual object. Oh, it's missing an object. That's why. Oh, I see. This is an old one. All right, delete that. That explains that. So which one? Charge is going to just get explosion normal then. Yeah. I think originally I was planning on just doing one version, and then I decided I should set up all of them, even if I don't use them in my demo scene. All right. That muzzle is still going in local space. Okay, but at least that's working now. This one needs some sound. Oh well. Why are the muzzles going in? You can look at them. They should be. They should be here. What? Muzzle. Yeah, I was just not finding them. Oh, I see. They were attached to this. Is that one? No, that if they're on world space, then they shouldn't be. Oh, it looks like some of them are world space, others aren't. You know why? Because of this. So, I think we should make a script that does this for us. Will that be faster? Maybe. In the future it will help. I don't know. Okay. We're going to ask ChatGPT this time. In the Magic Pig Games namespace, I need a window tool that takes all selections in scene objects and in project game objects and sets the particle component simulation space to local for all selected objects digging into their child objects too. The menu should be Windows, right? Window or Windows? Window. Magic Pig Games. Set particle simulation space local. We'll do one that does the world too. All right, set particle simulation space local. Go to my editor thing. Set particle simulation space local. Let's see what it's doing. It is doing all that. All right. And at the same time, we'll do world. There you go. Just look for local to make sure we change everything. Good. Save it, and we'll change the name of the script to just space. And see if it magically works. go back to our, where were they? Muzzles, that's right. Local. All right, did it work? It seems to have worked. Let's see if it actually worked. Nope. So now when we look at this, we got this is local, dust is local. So why didn't it appear to be local? I don't know. Do these get I don't know why it's suddenly super slow. Nope. I don't know what the deal is. Maybe it's just the particles themselves. I actually don't know what's going on there. The tiny one has some weird artifact thing going on. And the big one too. Let's see. What is this? Doesn't appear to be a muzzle. It's trails. Oh. Okay. So this is the issue that these are objects are turned on, and when they get repositioned from the pool to the spawn position, the trails activate because that's what they do. So let's bring all of these in, figure out which ones have trails. I think it is, my guess is just the two, then not these. We need these ones. Oh, it wasn't. It was the, sorry, not the explosions. It was the projectiles themselves. Point trails. All right. Yes. Trail. So they all would have it, essentially. They all have a trail, it looks like. So let's see. I have a script for this. I believe it's the observer object. Toggle objects on destroy and launch. It's going to be this projectile, and the objects are going to be the trails. So let's do that to all these. See if this works. And you know what? All of these have this target thing. So we're going to do public or private protected void var on validate. Validate, yeah, I guess we can do it like that. Protected, protected did virtual void validate. What's going on here? All right. Yep. There you go. That's what we're going to do. That way I don't have to keep dragging it down, because nobody likes dragging it down. See, now it's just protect. Now it's just there. So anything with a trail, we're just going to... Oh, this is a trail here too. That's a trail. All right, trail. All right. That's a little busy work. All right, let's press play again. Nope, it's still happening. You know what we need to add? Oh, it's actually doing it on get from, not launch. Do we have, what are the options here? It's launch projectile. That's the one we're looking for. Maybe that will work. I don't know. It depends on which frame it happens. We need 1 frame delay, basically, from what we have now. Nope. 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 We can add a delay. Public header options, public float delay equals 0 if delay equals 0, then we'll do that. Otherwise, there you go. You knew that I was going to do a coroutine, you silly AI, you. See, before you would have to do the coroutine and then it'd be like, oh, that's what you're doing. Now it just knows, oh, I see. I see. You're making a coroutine, aren't you? And so it just does it for you. Oh, I should probably change the settings, though. Okay, so delay is going to be 0.05 for all of these. With the projectile factory, there are things that the factory object itself, so the projectile factory object itself does. That's the projectile component or the spawner component. But there are other things like this. It doesn't really, it's not specifically the factory. It's just a script that works with the factory. Well, actually, I guess an observer object is definitely part of it, but. All right, so this should happen on respawn. It's still happening. See? Okay, so what's really happening now? It's happening 0.5 seconds later. We can see that it's happening further up the screen. And that's must be interesting. I guess we need to do one more step. We need to do the trail renderer. Maybe let's try that. I'm going to make an override of this. And it's going to be trail renderer object. Destroy and launch. It's a very verbose method name, isn't it? And we're going to override, I guess, all of these. Or we'll do this. Set active, set object true. All right, so we're changing this. So instead of doing these here, we're doing these here. Because all I then really need to override is this up here. And we'll make this a statement because for this version, I'm also going to get the trail renderer. So we're going to do a public list. Oh, actually, it's going to be private protected list trail render. This AI. So add trail renderer object dot get component trail renderer. You know, we're needing another protected bool setup equals false. So we'll do at the beginning here, if setup, if not setup, then add trail renderer. That way we only do this once because we don't want to keep getting component. Trail render. Okay. That way we only do that once. But either way, we're going to say it's set up. If it's null, then it's null, and you put the wrong object there. We'll do a warning. Debug.log warning object does not have a trail renderer. But it's trying to add it. All right. So we'll do that setup once. And then we'll set the object to true. And then we're going to say, oh, we actually need to make sure that we keep in line the same index. So we're going to make sure that the trail renderers dot count I'm mean, it will go in order, right? Does it always go in order? Is this always going to go in ascending order through the list? That's a good question. I think it does. Yeah. Okay. All right. Just wanted to make sure. And if that's the case, then we do need to add a thing here. A null one. Otherwise, we'll get the count wrong. Index equals object dot, or yeah, index of object. So then we're gonna do trail renderers dot index dot enabled equals value. There we go. So now there's a fair amount of stuff there actually. All right. So let me just confirm. Now, when we set the object, we set the object false or true on various points. And now we're overriding that. When we do that, we're going to check if we're set up. And if we aren't, we're going to add the trail renderer. The mark step is true. We add a value regardless, but that's not going to be here. That's going to be down here. If it's null, then we add it as null. So what we could actually do is up here, either way we're going to add it. So we're going to add the trail renderer. And then if it's null, we just do that. We can then invert this. There we go. And then we're going to set the object as per usual. Then we're going to get the index of that object and enable or disable the trail renderer. Let's see if that works. We're going to have to update this on all of these. Oh, we need to move the script as well to its own little file. How's everyone doing? I'm going to be painting a planter I've built later and filling it with dirt. That's the one non-projectile factory thing I'm doing today. All right. Toggle trail renderer. So now we have to add the explicit trails, I suppose. And then remove this. Let's try the mega one before we do the rest. I'm not adding a delay as well. I'm hoping that it works without delay. Nice. I have so much weeds. The weeds are like this tall in my backyard dirt patch. It's crazy. All right, let's see. Oh, look at that. That didn't work. Something happened. There's no trail render. Oh. So that's a thing. Oh, yeah. All right, there we go. I wonder which one doesn't have a trail renderer on it. We only have 3 objects. Is it this one? Oh. So this, it says trail, but it's not actually a trail. All right, but that's good. We handled that now. The debug was causing the issue. It's still causing an issue. What's going on here? Oh. If trail renders index equals null, then return. Handle the trail renderers. Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, you live in an area that's much colder than me, right? Like snow area. What the fudgesicle? Oh. This needs to be a list. Or, okay, no, we need to change the is setup. For some reason, I was thinking we were going to set up one at a time, but we're doing it all at once. So setup. We're doing a setup method then. That was my bad. That was human error. Yeah, I even went over the code line by line to look at it. For each var object in objects, add trail renderer. So make sure these are all virtual. So that somebody could override them. So now the setup's going to do all of them once and be done with it. If setup is true. All right, that's better. Oh, 100% eclipse. What time is that anyways? I should be outside during that. What time is the eclipse? Pacific time. I mean, do we really have to search a zip code to know? You can just tell us. So I'm going to get like 40% coverage. That's not much. That's barely, you know? I'm somewhere around here. 35% coverage. I'm guessing this is I mean, what does it start? I don't even know. Okay. So let's see. We're going to look for, say, Sacramento. Is Sacramento in this list? San Francisco. Partial eclipse for 2 hours, 1 minute. That's not very much. That's the type that you don't really notice it. So it started already. It looks bright outside. The peak is in about 15 minutes. Where's Mo's? I had glasses for this. Where are they? I stole them from my friend, but she was okay with it because she bought a ton from Amazon. Anyways, I don't know where my glasses are for it. We had the partial eclipse last spring, last fall, right? And it's very similar. Like it wasn't that much for us. So I think that's not much, but it's 15 minutes. Anyways, there you go. All right, it's still happening. Now let's add a delay. It's still happening. Why is it happening? Why is it happening? It should not be happening. Debug.log set to value. All right. It's doing the sets. Let's do a longer delay so we can debug this a little bit more. We're going to delay at half a second or 0.2 seconds. So 1/5 of a second. Let's lower the speed down. Still unsure why the simulation space for the muzzle flash isn't working right. I don't. It seems to be working. It's just not doing what I would expect it to do. Well, I don't know. I gotta the position isn't changing on these. Because they're local. Let me ask Chatty. This script should be disabling the trail render and enabling it. The issue is that it is doing that, but when I take these from the pool, even with a delay, the trail shows up as if it were moved a very far distance in one frame. However, it should be enabling it after it moves, so avoiding that. There must be something I'm missing. Oh, it does. Clear the trail's renderer's recorded path when reactivating it. Oh, I didn't know that. Yes, if you stare at it, you will see it forever. Let's just do 0 then, delay on that. I like adding delays either way, like, because it's nice to have that kind of option. All right, that seems to have solved it, indeed. All right, good. I mean, I guess it's not an issue because because we still want the object to be turned on and off. So the script is handling both objects and trail renders. It's just doing a little extra for trail render. So we don't really need to show the warning. I've noticed, by the way, that if you do show a warning, people who buy it from the asset store sometimes get annoyed. There are some folks, nothing against the folks, but there are some folks who feel very strongly that there should be 0 console things. Otherwise, it's bad. And they're like absolutists in that. And I disagree with that because, well, I do. Oh, these aren't even trail renderers, so this one doesn't even need it. Okay. This one does, though. Okay. All right. We'll fix that so that we don't need to worry about the twirl. One. All right. Just check them and then... This is the one I really want to check. Seems fine. All right, good. There we go. All right, I'm going to go look at the sun. Or not really. I'm going to look at the ground in a few minutes and finish these up. I'm going to go paint stuff. I'm probably going to stream later tonight, so if you're around later tonight, check that out. It's not scheduled because I'm not guaranteed, but we'll see. Thanks for hanging out with me, and I hope to see you real soon. Bye.